We're live. Okay, good afternoon, y'all. My name is Amy. I am working on video games today. That's what I'm streaming on Twitch. I'm an indie game developer working on the fan game called Shenmue Architect, which also has a story mode campaign attached to it called Freedom Planet Academy. And we'll be using the editor to create that campaign with. Basically like, dog fooding with very boutique software, like the old-fashioned days. Game development, using your own tools to make things, more or less. Well, somewhat. We're using GameMaker here to to make a lot of this here, and but this tool, that's my own thing I've been working on alongside the project. And today I do have some new pieces to share with it. Let's see. So let's just see how that looks. Here we go. Let's reopen this. There we go. Okay, just need to put full screen view up. Hello there, Alice Dance. Yeah, that reminds me to get some music going out now. Now, just I'm in a Zelda mood for some music while doing level design stuff today, so how about that? How about that? Oh, I do. Yeah, Isabelle Charming or Chinese. Like, work is just phenomenal. Just taking, like, elevating a lot of classic video game music to the next level. I really appreciate the work. And some of the new things I can show y'all today, little things like this new background. It's a variant of the Academy Temple, but I felt it'd be appropriate for recreating the lost Shangtu Dojo. Oh, that's nice to know. That makes me want that remake even more now, just knowing that there's a way to more or less play the game with that music in place, because one of the biggest shames of that OST is, you can't play it in the ROM hack. As cool as that would be. But yeah, this is like our new background. And just an hour or two ago, I added a nighttime version. Basically the same thing, but the Taishan Mountains night sky and moon with torches that are lit up. I like that would be appropriate. But yeah, that remake is more appealing now, knowing that this enhanced OST is an option. So yeah, what's I gonna do today? One of the biggest things right now is, like, I did add some new tiles to tiles that we've just like been making a pass to like add some more slopes to this thing. I'm also just working out little idiosyncrasies, if that's even how you say it, in the layout. Because I feel like the whole bright method of playing should like feel pretty natural for the most part. Obviously, you don't want a frictionless experience. Like, you want the player to naturally have that gameplay friction for the challenge. But for the most part, when the stage isn't asking like a lot of your platforming skills, it should feel pretty natural to move back and forth. So, yeah, one of the little things I fixed in this stage was, like, say, slightly improving this area. Felt like it was just a little bit, wasn't very streamlined, so just simplified it a bit. And yeah, I finally had a better introduction for this gimmick too, and we're slowly working on the bugs with the hang bars that move. Like there's still some more bugs I need to work out, and I need to rework the entire system for the non-rotating version of these. But now you can fall on these at pretty much any speed, and it will not. The character will clip onto it reliably. Turns out the fix is very simple, but that's also a bug that we're working out. I think it's a state-related issue with jumping off the hang bar. Yeah. This section is also reworked. It's a little exciting rail grinding section. Leads you into this area. Oh, hello. And as you can see, like we also have the reworked gold gems. Leaf and Akuyo did a great job on those. It'd be great for color deficient players to be able to tell the two apart. And well, it's just kind of nice to have that visual variety. So everybody wins when you've got more variety to work with. Oh yeah, and I remember one of my notes, like I felt like I added too many of the iris bats. It's like I was going to remove a couple of them. It's like, you know, one of the things I love about Metroidvania is, you know, having like those full screen left and right moments where you're just jumping left and right. It's so satisfying. With the excess bats, that part wasn't very fun, so I just need to cut down the bats. I forgot to do that. I think I have... It's on a repeat loop. Okay. I thought I had... Typically, like, I listen to a lot of songs on a repeat loop to have a certain mood going. I was like, okay, so be sure that didn't happen. Then, this section I feel it's okay, like, I streamlined it from the start. I'm still kind of proud of the section of this. Kind of nice having that big pan out, see that huge waterfall. Oh, normally I wouldn't mind listening to the same song over and over, but on a stream I felt like it probably annoys certain people. Like, we all listen to music differently, I think. This map is pretty well filed down. Like, one hand I do wish like the right section was a little bit longer, but on the other it's like, you can only make running towards the right interesting for so long before somebody's like, okay, but when's gameplay gonna happen? Okay, don't fall off this, friend. So that's the whole thing. Now let's go to map 2. I have a lot of development maps in this folder, as you can see. That's map 2. As you can see, like, I'm not as organized with my file names as I would like, because I haven't quite fixed the editor's understanding of like the internal header name versus the file name. Like, if I just had the editor focus entirely on the file name instead of like its own internal thing, I could just rename files to whatever I wanted. It'd be a big deal, but because I hadn't done that, oops. It's a big oops. But yeah. As you can see in context, this variant background looks a lot better than just using the Academy's background. Oh, didn't realize that was so annoying. They shouldn't be this annoying from the start, so remove this extra one up here. It's bad enough that this one's going to chase you around. Don't need 2 of them. Normally I do love attacking a bunch of bats at the same time, but you know, when you're in the middle of a platforming section, that's kind of like not great. So yeah, this is like player's first introduction to like the interior of the temples, as well as like the temple bell. So you got the bell hammer hitting the side. Then we have Carol over here being like, hey, no cheating. Well, she's also got a gas can for Carol players. Like, the Carol NPC wouldn't appear. When Carol's in the playing field, they would just see the gas can. Like, oh, there's my bike. And, oh yeah, it is fun to send those bats flying, I'll say. I normally like to indulge in attacking many enemies at the same time, but you kind of have to have like a non-platforming section to do that. And this little stretch is okay. Like I didn't feel like I had any issues with movement through here. And we did fix this little issue where, like, you know, I had a spring down here and the player would like you know, bounce. This is an awkward thing to hold. So the player would bounce up, but they'd usually just hit on the crate that I put here instead of like, you know, touching up here. And it was like, made the setup very finicky. So easy fix, just add another ramp and spring so that they just do the thing. And there's plenty of opportunities to stop and explore if they want as well. And I also added more rope to this so that, like, you can tell that there is another thing this is connected to. And once I bug fix the moving hang bars that go vertically and horizontally, I want to mix and match these gimmicks together, like, you know, having like the water wheel set up on one end, and then like having another hang bar you can grab onto, and it takes you down somewhere, gets you another spinny wheel. And kind of mixing and matching them make the gimmick interesting to navigate, and hopefully not making people hate hang bars and because yeah, like hang bars in Freedom Planet just have this curse to them, like just so cursed to not behave properly. It's not a very pronounced issue in FP2 at least. Oh yeah, here's one thing I needed to do. I needed to extend the length of this temple so that the transition between these two backgrounds aren't so awkward, because you can very obviously see like when the backgrounds are changing here. Okay, at least when the camera's panned out. So yeah, I need to extend the temple length a little bit. There's no way I already did that. Yeah, there it is. There's where the transition can be seen. So yeah, the entrance here needs to be extended a little bit. We'll just keep the checkpoint where it is, at least. I think that's okay. So I think if we extend this by 128 would be good. Oh, don't tell me I aligned that by 2 pixels. Yes, I did. So we'll extend it about that far, and that should make the transition less janky looking. I realized too late that these tiles really did need collision. That's why you see this funny little setup here. Just very gently put baby dragon here. Have this extend out like that. Should fix the visual inconsistencies. Then add the gem back in place. So people can see, oh look, a piece of candy. There's probably something up here. You know, just just classic cookie crumb trail. That's right, I never added gems here to encourage players to jump up there. Just add like a little row here. It makes sense to do the Mario coin arrangement in this case, because you're expecting the player to jump up there in the first place, so that makes sense. Normally you want to do the Donkey Kong style of gem placement at Freedom Planet, because you're just like kind of leading players along like a recommended route, per se. Or even encouraging them to do certain tricks if they're aware of them. Like roll jumping is one of my favorite things about the old games. I wish they like had some way to communicate that technique better so that Kid Me could have figured it out sooner, but you know, once I did, I just couldn't stop roll jumping everywhere. It's fun. So we have that should seem balanced enough. Get a little finicky about item placement. Yep, and I did finally fix the bees. They won't attempt to attack you beyond their marked ranges that you see here with these lines. So if they try to attack you and harass you and they go beyond this line, like they'll automatically scroll back up instead of like trying to chase you endlessly. That is too mean, I think. Yes, and I hope you enjoy the stream, Busy Soda. Like, I don't go out of my way to scream and make a lot of noise like some YouTubers, because I don't fancy myself the entertainment type. I'm not judgy about it. It's just like, I just simply like showing people how I make video games. And if people want that kind of content, well, there you go. I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm just definitely more on the quiet, reserved side. I tried to be louder in my younger days to be funny, but like, you have to be like a genuinely charming person to make that work. Like, the charisma is so high, like it would just make Gaston fiercely jealous of me. Just like it looks. Like I just don't think I have the social intelligence and to make that work for me. And I've been reserved for so long, people would probably consider it out of character for me anyway. Like, yeah, wouldn't y'all agree? Well, I'm glad you enjoy having it in the background at least. Like, I do listen to quite a few YouTube essays myself while drawing. At least if it's not like what I'd call active drawing, where it's like, you know, you're having to like draft and sketch a new body from scratch and make a perspective. Like when you're like rendering stuff with pixel art and colors, like that's where a lot of unconscious decisions tend to be made for me. Like once you've laid down what the direction of the light's going to be and your general lighting plan, the rest is just going to be very unconscious work on the part of your artist, your unconscious artist in your mind. So that's when I turn on a YouTube essay. Yeah, I'll just listen to a topic about news or a subject I'm interested in. Like I love aviation, for instance. I'd love to fly myself one day. So, yeah, naturally. Oh, yeah, Gaston would be a great streamer. He would be the type of guy to record fights happening in the streets And then also record himself breaking up the fights, you know, just by being the bigger bully or something, you know. Just, he'd be so live in the streets. I think. Let's see if we have. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna need to move these so that the transition works out cleanly. He totally would. Just the elbow dropping them. That sounds about right for him. Oh boy. Yeah, trying to imagine classic cartoon characters in a modern context is extremely funny, I think. Oh, here's my favorite track of the whole album. This is truly ascended composition arrangement, like composition work. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna crank it up because I want to. There we go. Fix that transition. I think I should pretty up this part of the stage a little bit. Darkened wood. Right here. This is still some great music work right here. Like that looks. Oh, there we go. Let's move this a little bit. Some more purpose. Oh, yeah, it's definitely my favorite too. I also have some Zelda music as my wake-up alarm. I have like the Ballad of the Windfish as my alarm. It's just it's probably one of my all-time favorite themes from the Zelda games. Just comes loaded with so many interesting emotions because of the story it's attached to. And because I've had it as my wake-up song for like literally 7 years, my brain seems pretty well trained to that one, so I've never changed it. There are times where I think about switching to a different rendition that I think, wait, no, my brain is trained to this specific version of the Ballad of the Windfish. Let's not mess with that. Okay, Argo. Good to see you today. We're refining the stage a little bit. He's trying to. So get this bit here. How are you today, Argo? Now that we've got some believable support structure there. Video games, you don't have to worry too much about believability. It's just, you know, where you could reasonably have it if it's worth trying. There we go. Yeah, feeling good so far myself. Like I kind of had to rush to get ready for the stream because I yawned and all my eye makeup just like did the move on thing. It's like, oh no, now I need to like redo my eye makeup just before the stream. That's fun. But I literally got to the desk at 2:59, so it was all good. Got lucky. Been putting on my makeup literally every day for 4 years, so I know how to clutch. Yeah, there's definitely been times where I've had to throw on all of my makeup, like all of it, in just 10 minutes flat, and if you look hard enough, you definitely see that some things aren't quite right, but yeah, it'd be presentable. Yeah, Carol fans might appreciate, so maybe a little something like this. Yeah, that background variant definitely looks better. There's the glass springs I've rather decidedly not been able to find a compelling use for. Like, I kind of realized they can only really be like a minor little gimmick in every other stage, where it's like you can just kind of use them in scenarios where you would want a spring to appear, but you don't want it to be a persistent spring. Like, you know, like there's a couple of times where, you know, in fact, probably even put one right there. I just had a thought about that. The glass spring. Probably put it right here, where it can just do one little job, and then if the player backtracks, there won't be this obnoxious little spring in their way. Let's see how that plays out. Oh, that's right, they have variable strength. So there's like almost nothing to go on. For shame. I really need to fix the lack of undo levels too, that would be nice. One thing at a time. You know, I didn't think about that. Yeah, like using them in a boss fight wouldn't be a bad idea either. It's definitely a thought. Keep that one in mind. And I think Carol's on the outside, like, oh yeah, time to floor it now. I think Argo had the idea of like Carol on her bike being a runaway NPC. I was like, oh yeah, for storytelling reasons, this is gonna be great. Oh, and then Spikes, like, now you're thinking with evil Alice Dance. With evil lemons. In fact, I could even do better than that. We could have, like, the glass springs on top, and then the spiked springs that Onion suggested. Like, so it's just like pain. Wait, that's too mean. Way too mean. But it's an idea. I'm gonna wait to introduce this gimmick until like probably Bay High Bay in stage 6. That's about the point where you can really start to be a little mean to the player, not like a whole lot. But by then, you can kind of expect them to not be too angry about, walking into a spring that hurts. Just like, oh, okay, this helped me get where I need to be, but at what cost? What cost? And, I wish I'd put the balloons to more use, honestly. There's definitely one map that, like stage 1, I'd probably like to revisit. Put balloons to better use. But you really can't use like destructible springs for any consequential platforming. It's like, sometimes like even very observant players will be like, oh, I missed my opportunity to use this appropriately and now it's gone. Oh, hey, Pia. Good to see you. Got Carrie's voice actor over here. And Chiasa's. Yeah, there's Kitty right now. And I think I did file down video for synchronicities here. It's weird I know that word, but I can't say it. Yes, we have a cat in the chat. Oh yeah, that's right. Part of today's stream I was going to revisit the map 4 of the stage. Because we do have, I wanted to replace this rail grinding section with like some actual platforming that can take advantage of a couple of new gimmicks I've made. So like one of those new gimmicks that I've made just today is a destructible spike. So as you can see, it's like really shiny, it's animated, you can tell it's different from other spikes. What makes this different is you can attack it and it breaks. Oh, that's right, I forgot one little thing. In editor mode, it's supposed to like regenerate itself after it breaks, so let's just close the game real quick to fix that. How about that? Look at this thing's code. I cannot believe I forgot about that. Is because oh yeah, that's right. It's the makeup thing. So for in the room where editor mode is active, then kind of recreates itself. Sometimes it's easier to just recreate an instance than to like reset all the variables in an object and hope that works. Sometimes that can be very finicky. So yeah, instance creates xy spikes. There we go. And with GameMaker's like modern memory management, like it's not a not a huge consequence to constantly recreate an object. Like if you do it a lot per frame, then yeah, it will slow the game down. But memory wise, like the object is completely removed from memory when you delete it. Tiles unfortunately aren't, so like as you're placing and deleting tiles, you're slowly adding to memory. Of course, this is like bytes at a time, so it doesn't add up too much for a long editing session in the editor, but yeah, GameMaker's old tile engine was really funny, but Oh, that's an interesting French fact. Chat in French is cat, but the T is silent in French. And Fizzy's like, I've approved this as a Carol fan. Oh. Okay, so that should fix it. I thought thought that would be a neat gimmick, you know, having a spring you could actually break for once. Like, yeah, take that, player hazards. One of these days I need to figure out how to make a destructible death pit. I think that would just make people make people's brains just stop thinking for a second, like, what? That is the thing you can do? What? In fact, I think that's kind of possible, because in Sonic Rush, instead of like having proper death pits where you're like falling for 5 minutes at a time, there were just like these death lasers that would be in your way, which was quite a merciful solution to that problem that the advanced games had in spades. So yeah, I could probably make those destructible. That would be pretty funny. Maybe even stupid, but you know, just like there's a lot of things in this project they could look at and be like, what was wrong with me when I did that? When I came up with this gimmick, you know. In fact, like, this would probably be a good opportunity to introduce the player to the spikes, because even classic Mega Man would like introduce you to a gimmick in like an isolated space to like practice with it, and then throw you at it like mixed in with the rest of the player hazards and enemies. It's pretty smart. Those games are pretty brutal, but at least by Mega Man 3 and 4 they started to become more reasonable. Yeah, the advanced and I think the advanced games, like, a lot of people are mixed about, but Sonic Advance 1 tends to be like pretty universally loved. I've noticed of the bunch. It definitely feels the most Sonic-like of the bunch. And then like 2 and 3 experiment a bit more with some ideas that you'll eventually see like fully realized and polished in Sonic Rush. I felt like they really had the like their ideas from Advanced 2 and 3 like pretty well realized by Sonic Rush. Of course, Rush still has advances of physics more or less, but it does feel more tight and refined. I think, you know, a lot of people say Sonic 4 feels like Sonic Rush, and I think that's just kind of mean-spirited and inaccurate, because, like, no, Rush was like would not let you stand on a wall now. That's just a bit mean. Hyperbole. I think that's fair as well, honestly. Wanting more like the Genesis games. It's kind of a shame Mania is like the only one we're gonna get. Like, I know, like, you know, there was a new classic Sonic game. I already forgot the name of it. But yeah, it's not the same. It's definitely a very different beast. Just I really would like more pixel Sonic games, honestly, but it looks like Sega as a whole is like drifting away from that, so that's where more fan games and indies can come in, at least. Like, I do need to like really sit down with like Sonic Triple Trouble remake at some point. Like, I really liked what I saw of it from just the beginning. And I'm trying to remember like what else is also worth playing. And there's also Sonic Time Twisted that felt like a very bizarre Sonic CD-like game. So I've got that on my phone too. Where else could I incorporate these springs? I mean, the spikes. I think there is a ROM hack like that has like all three of the trilogy playable in one package, and Sonic Origins kind of more or less does that too. Like there's just a continuous story mode where you're playing one Sonic CD, 2, and then 3 in Knuckles in like a chronological order. I still haven't tried that yet because I just like enjoying the games individually, but that's a pretty neat thing, I think. Let's put these over here. Have a little fun with that. Oh, that's a problem. I didn't consider that we would need a grace period timer for this. Now that would be pretty cursed if the Game Gear version of Labyrinth. Oh no. Still can't believe they did that. Just... Well, you probably can't do worse than some of the joke hacks in the ROM hacking scene. Like, there are some pretty cursed ROM hacks, I will say. Like, they have lots of interesting entertainment value, but not in the way that most people would expect them to. Yeah, just, I don't know if I could really play all 4 of the Genesis games in one sitting, though. Like, Sonic 3 and Knuckles already is like... It's very long. It'll take you about an hour or so to get through all of it. And Mania is even longer than that, and it's like, oh gosh, I just... I don't know, I really struggled to play the same game for 2 hours, at least, of a platformer. Because, like, they're very active games, like, so they're much more exhausting than, you know, just something open world like Breath of the Wild. Or you could end up spending half your time just with your brain turned off while you're cooking, you know. But, you know, this platform is like high intensity all the time. Like, there isn't that much downtime to have relaxing gameplay too, so it's just, it would be exhausting to play all 4 of them in one go. I just, that's why I don't see the appeal of like really long platformers. I'd much prefer like a medium-length platformer where the experience feels like it stops at the point where it would start to be too long. So it doesn't ask more of your time than it realistically can, I think. And allows the experience to be more polished and refined because, you know, like, you could spend more time balancing the little things in a more well-rounded experience. Like, it's just kind of a miracle that the much bigger games can feel even a little polished, I think. Then, spikes. Oh yeah, that's right. I was just rework this section. Let's go ahead and delete that. Sorry, real grinding section. I liked you, but you are not what this stage needs. I think Sabrina herself said you should never get too attached to an idea. So now we can have like a platforming section. The player can be slowed down by this gimmick. They just get stopped by it, which asks them to observe before jumping. Sonic Mania had a lot of little design decisions like that, especially in its version of Hidden Palace Zone. Like, it would stop you with an obstacle just before, like, you blindly running into a lava pit, for instance. You know, with little mercies that help. And if you know the level layout well enough, like, you just jump over the very tiny obstacle they put in front of you. So it doesn't slow down like repeat playthroughs, but it's enough to keep you from hurting yourself when you're a newbie. Oh yeah, I need to bug fix that. Yeah, that's an interesting concept. I didn't know like it was supposed to be like a roaming island. That would be interesting. And yet it's ever present. Okay, so, oh no. What did I do here? We have a bug. Okay, I've seen this happen before, but I didn't quite understand why. Closer look at this. Top page description. Wondering like what particular tile description is out of range. It's got to be something on 11 out of 11. Yeah, like how is that 2D array going into the 1 index? I'm just very curious. Of course, this is another reason I spam save all the time, because even I know my own editor isn't completely perfect. There's still some gremlins lurking around that can affect like long-term usage, so I'm still working them out. For the most part, things have been pretty stable, but recently I've had this particular bug crop up, and I'm not entirely sure why yet. So, out of range. Okay, so let's look at the description, the language script for page 12. Let's see what's going on there. So, tile sets, mountain definition table. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's definitely a thing. Oh, I'm really wondering how I didn't run into this before. I didn't have enough page descriptions in the array. That is just very funny. That's the thing about arrays in GameMaker, like, it's really difficult to error check them in such a way from within the interpreter engine that you can prevent crashing. So, like, that happens sometimes. Okay, fix that bug. Let's just go ahead and put that in the changelog. Fixed crashing. Crashing oversight. Have enough page titles. That's right. Okay. Curious how that hasn't like happened every single time I got to that page. Very curious. I'll fix that, hopefully. Let me check the language scripts as well, because like that would be an issue there. Ooh, the page descriptions don't even go that far, so very bad. This is dog fooding, y'all. Yeah. Go here. Yeah, what the language scripts more or less do is like override the text in particular instead of like also overriding all this other stuff, because that would just really slow the engine. It'd bog down the frame rate for like no particular gain. So, alright, so there's Polish, just as a placeholder for now. A Polish placeholder for that. The dangers of localizing your game while it's still in the works. That's all I can say. Oops. Okay. Brazilian. Yeah, this is just like the English template. It's not the actual script that the game uses. It's a reference point for the other ones. And this is supposed to be German. Like, we do have a German contributor, but they're still plugging away at the thing. So I've just got all the placeholder stuff in the meantime. That way, when they do have the German scripts ready for me, I can just import them into GameMaker, add like 2 extra lines of code, and boom, we have German. Instead of like spending 10 hours being like, oh my god, implementing all this by hand. Well, that's interesting. Like, it'd be an interesting possibility that the city zone would have had some parallels with Sonic Spinball. Oh, let's see. South Island floats. That's interesting. Well, that's one way to keep certain ideas alive, I think. Right, that should do it. But yeah, I'd close the game anyway to fix a bug, so. How would I go about fixing that? Oh, there. That's a thought. Have just a timer, nothing fancy. Yeah, because we'll need like a 1 second timer to respawn the thing. Yeah, there we go. In the editor, we'll need unique behavior. Otherwise, just do that. Then inside of the editor, what will happen is, there we go. The timer hasn't even started yet, then we can have this behavior happen. think that ought to do it. Then it would create a new one and destroy itself. Because again, it's not of much consequence to me, objects, memory-wise. Yeah, timer equals 0. And that timer is not even going to matter like in play mode. Just editor mode, where objects need to have all these unique behaviors. So we're going to have this. As you can see, this particular spike is pretty dumb. I did forget one other thing I wanted to do with it, and that's to make it rotate with those rotation gears that I've got. Let me see if I can find them. I'm getting to a point where I'm losing track of all my objects. So I could be more organized with this thing. Yeah, angle gears, that's what I call them. Do I have a particular folder for them? Yeah, here we go. I don't know if there is a best with specialization. Really. I'm kind of worried that it might be a bot. It is just such a random question. And as somebody who didn't even finish their college degree, I certainly wouldn't know that. Like, you know, what is an arbitrary arbitrary condition for best specialization? Like, you know, what is the most marketable, or what is the most socially valuable? Like, I did hear about that some time ago. I just didn't know if that was a meme or not. You know, analog computers being researched again. It's a fascinating idea, though. In fact, there's still so much that can be done with them. They're very specialized machines. Very low power, too. And, you know, with like our data-hungry world, you know, we probably could stand to have like more scalable analog technologies to deal with some of that stuff. Okay, so if I want this to work with the angle gear system, I'm going to need to look at how like the crystal gem flower, for instance, interacts with it. Let's make sure we have the right variables first. So do we have the right parameters? Here we have... No, I don't have these two things right here, so we've got to have that. Gotta have these for the angle gear system to work with. Then go back to the step event. Okay, and how is Oh yeah, this is like adjusting the tile mask in relation to those things. Well, it's a good thing I just created this object, because now I've realized I want this hazard to rotate. If we can just do this without having to deal with any backward compatibility scripts. Yeah, it would be pretty interesting, honestly. I've heard of like the hypothetical possibility of like light-based computing before, like not really sure how that would even work, but it's a fascinating idea. Of course, I also don't really understand how ammonia-based life would work, but this is for STEM, all right. Let them figure it out. Okay, so yeah, this is also modifying the position of its tile mask. That's what I'm doing here as well. So what we'll want to do is have this code here for managing the position of the tile mask. Just need to change the name because, oops, I didn't pick a universal name for this one. Oh, sorry, y'all. And yes, that is a thing that I've heard speculated. Like, just like life that is based on ammonia for the solvent instead of water. And you can just imagine how screwy the genetic chemistry all the way up to the macroscopic stuff could be. Yeah, they could still be carbon-based, but it would definitely be much colder environments, like, the surface of Titan, Saturn's moon. It would have to be a cold environment like that. Like, yeah, they would just not be able to function at what would be room temperature to us. Like, it's just not possible. Well, let's switch to the Zelda 1 soundtrack that Isabelle chiming did. That way we don't get too repetitive here. Then, yes, I was looking for the tile mask script. Where is it? Where is it? Off there. Oh, yeah, probably here. Up there, either. Oh, Lord, their skin would probably be boiling too, in that context. But to be fair, like, the pressure difference on Mars would also make our blood boil. Like, we're like, we like to think of ourselves as not terribly fragile creatures, but we are very specifically built for our environment. That's something I try not to think too much about. Where UV. Control scripts. Okay, so it's got to be in here somewhere. Item, mask offset. Oh, here we go. Okay, nope, I'm gonna have to rename it to this because, like, my system here is a little too hardwired, so. But we do have a system you can use. Well, hello there, creeper. Yeah, I don't even know if it would be possible to revive its Mars's core, like kind of energy we would need would just be unimaginable. It might almost be easier just to make like an artificial magnetosphere for the planet and work from there to rebuild the atmosphere. If there is any atmosphere left by the time that where our civilization is capable of a terraforming project of that scope. It's fun to think about, though. So, Tom Hanks. Okay, I think we're good. Oh. Wait, that's right. I didn't check the rest of the script for like what to do when. Okay, well, that's all the logic we have to deal with. Oh yes, but I do need to see like how the crystal powder is drawing in relation to that. Rotate. Now there we go. So that's how the spike needs to draw itself when rotating against the wall. So an angle here gives it an angle. Now that's going to do that. Yep, and it does reset the timer, so that's good. It looks like the sprite mask is also modified too, so that's good. The Arca likes the overworld theme here. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that would be one idea because, like, it could create more kinetic energy than we could imagine creating with giant tungsten rods. You know, like just miles long asteroid chunks. But I'm guessing the planet also wouldn't be habitable for thousands of years. Oh, same. I love Zelda music so much. So, let's see if the spikes will respond to the angle gears now. Once I add them to the angle gears check. Where would that be? Yeah, object placement. Node exceptions. check item rotate. Here we go. So we can add our new object-based spike to the list. And the editor should automatically apply the angle gear to it. Let's see if that's the case. Yes, you're hearing Zelda music. Like, this is like specifically a song from Link's Awakening that was adapted for Zelda 1 in this context. It's really good. Telltale Heights. Yes, I think it's from Link's Awakening. I think that would be interesting. I can remember one of my very first Game Maker projects with was like trying to remake Zelda 1 with like more recent sprites of. And it was pretty fun. I managed to recreate the original first dungeon and a tiny part of the overworld with it, with just action blocks in Game Maker, like no code. Even the camera scrolling was perfect. But the way I had it set up was such a gremlin and disgustingly necessarily precise setup. Like, you had to bug test every time the camera would need to scroll in every room, because it would probably be 2 pixels off if you didn't put the boundary objects in just right. It was so dumb, but it worked. Yeah, I need to get around to playing that too. I did enjoy playing like VS Zelda that was like a modification of A Link to the Past with like a new quest. Like somebody hacked the game to restore it. And I like playing it with the girl character. She's pretty cute. And, so what I need to do now is wait, no, let's check this out in a test map first. Get mix. Oh, yes. We have rotating spikes now, so these can be used in any direction that a player would want, even despite being object-based. Not too shabby. Now let's have a look at the debug mode. See if we can spot the angle gear. I think they're not very visible. Oh, whoops, now I need to fix the point direction code. Yeah. Because now it's not able to hurt the player, and that's very important. Don't know how that stopped working. Oh yeah, that's because like the XY coordinates changed dramatically, so we'll need to check. Yeah, negative 36 above the floor. What character is that by chance? Leo. I've heard of that before. Let's see. That's right, there was a Link's Awakening remake. I forgot all about it. I'm very dedicated to the original experience. The art style was not something I was interested in. But I love the original Link's Awakening. It's just such a beautiful experience. Oh, that's right, I forgot to save the springs. I mean, the spikes. Okay, yeah, now we're back to Hurdy Hurdy. That's very good. One final touch, like the just for editor mode. So attack 0. Else, otherwise, draw a ghost over your position. We can keep the ghost really dead simple in this case. Oh, the two-headed dragon. Oh yeah, it was a creeper. I'm making a gimmick right now that it's basically a destructible spike. So you could choose to destroy this one instead of simply just be hurt by it. Now let's see if the editor mode behavior is in a good spot now. And yeah, this is definitely the color dungeon. Yeah, now that's the behavior we want. Except, like, the surface tile also needs to be destroyed when that happens. So, yeah, let's also do that. That way the tile mask is just immediately deleted when it's not needed. I don't remember that in Workload Seasons. I thought I would remember that. Because I really loved that game. Like, I beat that game for ages, and it was the one I'd go back to the most. Seasons was. Loved Ages too, but it's a much tougher cookie to play, puzzle-wise. Even the overworld will absolutely tease you on your way to the next dungeon. Oh, that's exciting video. Let's go to our test stage again. Make sure that we have the correct behavior that we want. Okay, that's what we wanted to do. One problem though, need more coverage on the hurt box, so yeah, it needs to like not be 4 pixels deep. That's a bit of an issue. That should do it. Oh, that's right, I forgot. the XY coordinates also changed and I modified that, so this ought to fix the left side not dealing any damage. I beat Phantom Hourglass, but that was particularly hard. I don't remember if there was any such thing in it. I guess that'd explain it, because I definitely don't remember the 8th dungeon in Seasons. Mostly because it's been so long since I've replayed it. It's not like I haven't wanted to go back to it, it's just lack of time. Oh yeah, I should also check if these can save correctly. I've done testing these NPCs, I know they work, so just do it quick, but put them out of the way. Yep. Now. Curious. It's only hurting the player if they're just a pixel or so above the plane. That is just so weird. How could that be the case? Like, you're supposed to just hurt people. Spikes? Like, what's so hard about that? Check how the coordinates work now. Okay, so it's 32 pixels on the floor, 16 in the middle. Hmm. Position of the tall mask should be. Oh, the tall mask is being put much lower into the ground. Why didn't I think about that? Which is normally fine for most of the items because, like, you know, because you do stand like some pixels inside of them on their tops, and that feels more natural. But that's not happening on these spikes. Like, you're expecting the tops, the exact point on tops, to hurt you. So yeah, the hitbox for damaging the player was above the floor, more or less. And it's been so long since I played the Minish Cap, I completely forgot that creature was even in it as well. And you'd think I wouldn't have that much trouble remembering, because that game didn't exactly have a whole lot of dungeons in it. That's more like it. Okay, now this gimmick is 100% ready for prime time. Right, so that's right, I can get rid of these now that we're done testing those. Now let's go back to map 4 and get some work done. I'm also going to need to replace these because I modified their coordinates, so which meant they didn't save in their intended places. But I hadn't really saved a whole bunch of these yet. Just think it'd be funny. I wonder if I could do that without hurting the player. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and complete all this again. I think in the flurry of seeing the bugs with the new spikes, I just neglected to save my progress last time. Ooh, I love this particular track. It's very fittingly gloomy for the final dungeon, I think. Assuming it is for that. Yeah, we're getting close to the final dungeon. So yes, now let's not forget to save this time. And be sure that it's saved. Yep, we're good. Now let's make a new platforming section with our shiny new gimmick. Literally shiny. Oh, I need to modify the coordinates where the spike pieces are spawning too. Oh, I do. I love Shantae's music. I'd probably play some right now, but I have no idea like if WayForward even allows that kind of stuff on Twitch. Like, and if I put the VOD later on YouTube, I don't want to get copyright strikes. I don't think WayForward's very strict about their music, but it's better to err on the side of caution. I'd absolutely love to play some Pirate's Curse music right now, though. That's like the good stuff right there. Let's go ahead and modify this while I'm thinking about it. That way I don't forget later while we're modifying this. So. I think I also had like Half Genie Heroes soundtrack, which was also good. That's good to hear. Yeah, you didn't have any issues doing that. So let's close this and restart the game. And hope the particles spawn in the right position. Castle crashing. I listen to a lot of indie music as well, like Love Princess Remedy and Vocaloids and just a whole smattering of old games that I still love. So, and if I didn't have to worry about the layer cake of pit of intellectual property owners of Earthworm Jim, I'd also play like the special edition soundtrack. Because that had some really hype music that I don't want whoever is in that hole to like crawl out of it to copyright strike me. IP rights for Jim is like very complicated right now. It's why like an 80% complete PSP game was cancelled. Like just things fell through at the wrong time. Right, now little springs. I mean, the spikes should be perfect now. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with it now. I like being sure things work the way you expect them to. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what she was going for. Now I can hear it too. Yeah, it definitely has a drum pattern similar to Super Mario Bros. 3. Oh, that does sound good. Like Link to the Past has like some of the most iconic music in the series. Like so much of A Link to the Past music just ended up carrying over to the rest of the sequels after that. Like sometimes it's wild to like replay A Link to the Past and listen to Zelda's Lullaby and think, dear Lord, there's no way they realized at the time how consequential that particular thing would be to the rest of the series. But, oh Lord, it sounds so good, still. Probably sounds even better in retrospect, just knowing what they did with it later. Really. So, Yeah, that makes a lot of sense on Wayfulward's part. So basically, you know, like don't use like Shantae music in a commercial setting. Oh, I see the Dance of Dinosaurs are at it again. Look at all the babies. There we go. Oh, whoops. Aw. Oh, this old theme's a classic too. Of course, I love what Isabelle did to it. Well, I bet I can take that from you. Ooh, oh, that's right. There isn't enough surface to automatically put it there, so. Okay, that should do it. Yes. A little tricky, but it works. Oh yeah, that's right, I need to have the hitbox change depending on the rotation angle. That's one more bug, but we'll worry about that later. Now let's do some platforming. Well, I mean, some people probably would be like, ooh, it's shiny, I'm going to get my pickaxe and steal that. No. Of course, making a attendant in this cave in particular would be pretty dangerous to start with. I don't mind the angry guardian that's just constantly hovering around. Don't mind that. That's probably miners doing it, if anything. Oh yeah, there's one of the triggers for the dragon. And the other one. Yeah, that thing's just gonna chase you around like one of the infected drones do in Metroid Fusion. That's where I got the idea. It's like, ooh, we could have like that kind of moment in the game. That'd be pretty scary. And I still need to make like a sprite of Leon, just Harry's father, like running away from like his forklift while the dragon's destroying it. Like he'll transition to this part of the stage, and then you'll see him immediately running away from his forklift while the dragon is like pounding its fists on it and destroying it, and then it flies away. Like, it really doesn't want people down there. And then it just kind of chases you around throughout the stage. Be extra creepy. Should be pretty fun. Then, yeah, now we're doing a little platforming section to make it over here. So let's figure that out. In fact, this is a good opportunity to, oh, it's so good to have this crash fixed. That little gremlin was bothering me. Yeah, that's one little bit of lore I haven't figured out yet. Is like, why the Guardian is there and why it's trying to scare people away. But we can assume it probably has a very naturalistic reason for wanting to. We can assume at least. So, now let's go through our gimmicks again that we're using for this stage. And I'll just use this like a platform, so like when the player jumps over here, they can be like, ooh, I'm gonna jump into my card. Then jump up here. Ah, yes, but what would he be protecting in this case? No. That's what we don't know yet. Yeah, I think I'll probably put a rock platform here somewhere. Oh, that's too janky. Also janky. I guess it could be like there is like the stereotype of the dragon like protecting all of its loot, yeah, the minecart would be there as like a little safety thing there. Oh, well, that's an issue. Didn't come back. go. Yeah, but there's like the stereotype of like a dragon like hoarding all beautiful things, like gemstones and whatnot. Yeah, this is clunky. Let's just have one up here. Jump up here. Do some Metroidvania platforming here, just a little bit. And if they miss that jump, well, you've got the mine part to jump with. Oh, on the wrong page. Dragons are fascinating creatures. Yeah, that would be good enough. What if? Well, that's a funny mental image, just dragons being ancient world's borders. Well, if Smaug's entire personality from The Hobbit couldn't be a more lucid example of a Karen dragon. It's just funny to imagine a Karen like dragon just caring about the smallest of affairs. Yeah, that's an interesting way to go, I'll say. I wouldn't even thought of that in regards to dragons. That's a funny mental image, at least. Just had to extend the ceiling of the room a little bit. A little too cramped. Also means that needs to be extended too. Oh, there we go. Make this section interesting by having bees in it. Fun little surprise for people who are platforming up. That's right, now we can take advantage of our new spikes by Let me think. Oh, that's right, we can have this. Sufficient space. Yeah, I'm revising map 4 a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little tired today. I'm not just erratic sleeping, that's all. But yeah, I'm redoing this little section of map 4 so that the stage lasts a little bit longer and also allows us to take advantage of more of our gimmicks. Because I feel like map 4 is a little too short otherwise. I want it to be long enough that even in just a casual playthrough, like holding right, like you'll at least be able to hear the full B section before like you get to the creepy part where you're being dragged over here and you hear all the dragons and stuff going on. Oh. So, Oh, well, that's not too bad for your first playthrough of it. And it's about to be a little bit longer with the cutscene stuff and all. Stretch my legs. Right, so I'm just gonna space these out a bit so the angle gears don't act funny. That should do the trick. Sorry, I'm getting a little quiet. I'll just trying to focus on this stage and kind of hopefully make it interesting. Oh, that might be fun too. Some players might not be able to immediately figure out that you can break those yourself, so the minecart at least could help motivate some people. Hmm. What do I do with this thing? Always an agonizing part of making stages. Like, oh, does navigation work? I think I'll probably just go ahead and end the stream here because like I'm having trouble staying awake, and I normally mean to end the stream around like 5 p.m. anyway. We just keep trailing to 6. But yeah, I hope this was another illustrative stream for anybody who's watching. Like, watched me bug fix one of their gimmicks and saw some of the new things it's working on. Also, I got started on this. I was hoping I could just like finish this little section before the end of the stream, but I'm stumped. Like, sometimes with stage design, at least for Freedom Planet, I get stuck a lot because there's so many ways to move around. You know, it's not like Mario Maker where you just have like 4 characters who all have basically the same movement and character abilities they have access to. You know, these girls, they're so broken, I'll say, mechanically speaking. They can do all kinds of things you need to account for. So what is both fun and not too easy to cheese to the point that it isn't fun, then that can be a little challenging. But in any case, I hope y'all enjoyed the stream today, and let's do this again next week, hopefully. With me raining my sleep a little bit better. Thank you for coming.